Hey guys, it's Miranda Hughes here from Walking Your Worth. I just wanted to say that if you're trying to date someone right now, don't rush it, don't force it, see where it goes. And I don't mean by mind games, playing around, waiting to see who's gonna call who and whatnot. No, like, you do you and you focus on you with what God's given you to do, and then the rest will follow through. Meaning, if this guy's really for you, he's going to respect your boundaries. He's going to respect the fact that you have a life and you have things going on, and you're not going to drop your priorities just because he's cute or attractive or he's in your life trying to get your attention. No, like, God really wants you to grasp this, that if you're going to want to build your life, right? Like, you have all these dreams, goals, and plans. So when God answers your prayers and he starts opening doors for you to have that dream job, or to have that dream vehicle, or that house, or to give you the names of your children that you really want, that you don't know if you can have, but through God, anything's possible. God wants you to build with this person. And part of building with someone has nothing to do with, like, when you get married. It has everything to do with how you build yourself up right now as you're single, while you're waiting for the person that God has for you. Like, God doesn't want you to just sit around and be like, well, I don't know when he's going to show up in my life. Like, no. Like, don't just sit around. Like, work on your attitude, work on your emotions, go get therapy if you need it, join a church or join a biblical group of women, whether it be online, or it doesn't have to be women, but I mean, anything that pertains to growth. Like, God wants you to be a healthy person for the man that God has for you. Just like you want a very healthy man for you. Okay, well, you got to put in the work. You got to be willing to show up every day and do your best. And sometimes, that's easier said than done. And God will give you the grace to do that, but it's like, you got to realize you attract what you are, not what you want. So if you want a really good, godly man, that's great. If you want a man who's going to love you, provide for you, protect you, care for you and your children, if you want a man to be a good father figure or become a father, guess what? It starts in the mindset. And it starts with your willingness to let God work in your life. It starts with you showing up. It starts with you allowing God to move circumstances in your life and events in order to get what it is that you need out of each situation, to prepare your character, build your character, prepare the plans that he has for you to walk that out, walk in your worth. And you'll start attracting better people in your life, because you're not going to be putting up with the same lies, the same betrayals, the same behaviors that you used to do when you were being one type of way, one type of woman, when you're being promiscuous, when you're out there flirting with everybody, when you're out there letting everyone know that you want to date. Like, no, like, shh, keep it hush hush. Not every guy needs to know your plan. Not every guy needs to have your attention. Not every guy needs to be with you. Okay? So it's time to get to the nitty gritty. It's time to take 2022 as a very serious year. Have fun. But what I mean by serious is be intentional. Be intentional about who you let into your life. Be intentional about, going back to college and getting that degree. Go back, not just for your kids, but for yourself. If you don't have any kids and you're like me, do it, because now is the time to do it. It's going to be so much harder if you hold off on this and you try to go once you have kids. Like, even if you're a stay-at-home mom, like, life can be really, really hard when it's just you have other things that are demanding your attention. And that's part of building yourself that I'm talking about. God is going to use these circumstances to build you. Just like he's building the man that God has for you. If your man needs to go to school, that's what he's doing right now. He's not, focusing on trying to get a wife. And if he is, it's going to cause delay. Just like if you're focusing on trying to get a husband. No, you don't have to do nothing. If it's God's will over your life, the person that God has for you, God's going to be working on them just like he's working on you. And when the appointed time, yes, there is an appointed time, when it's right, y'all will link up. Not hook up, link up, meaning you will cross paths. And when you do, it's going to be a game changer. But you got to be ready for it. spiritually, mentally, physically. You know, if God's been putting on your heart to go to the gym, it's because he's trying to get you, for lack of a better word, he's just trying to get you more attractive to the person that God has for you. Yes, your person, and don't take offense to that. I'm in that category too. Like, look, I got some bulge too. Like, God's been working on me to just start walking every day. You know, I've recovered from an injury, but I'm still trying to learn my balance. I'm trying to learn how to get back in the routine of working out now that it's been 2.5 years, maybe 3, since I had a really bad accident with my ankle. And it's like, God healed me. So now it's time to start getting back into, you know, going on walks and really taking care of my body in the physical, you know, way, because I couldn't before. And like I said, the person that God has for me is going to find me attractive anyways, but here's the thing. There's other benefits besides looking attractive when you get fit. The whole point should not just be to look good. It should be to feel good. It should be to help release a lot of your pent-up energy. It should be to be able to wear clothing easily and comfortably. And it should be so that you enjoy, you know, not like making yourself look good, but just like you enjoy the process of becoming new or becoming better. And that same principle is applied in every area. Just like if you got to work on your attitude, you know, maybe watch your tone of voice. If you sound really petty, like all the time, or sarcastic, sarcasm's great to an extent, but if you're going to use it with everything on everyone, it gets old really quick, to the point where you sound like a snob and nobody wants to be around you. Because if a guy is going to talk to you and you're just sounding sarcastic, it's going to come off like a mind game eventually. In the beginning, he's going to be like uneasy. He might play along, but once he's around you, this is why time can only tell the real deal of who and how you are. Just like the same thing about the man that you're wanting to date. Only time's going to tell what his true colors and attitude is like. So the point is that work while you wait. Whatever it is that God's calling you to work on, hop to it. Don't delay, don't procrastinate, get on it. And do the best that you can with the resources that you have and the time that you have. God's grace is sufficient, meaning it's enough. Okay? When he's got you in a humbling spot and, you know, you feel like you need more money for this or that, no, you don't. You just got to improvise and figure out how you can make this work doing it a different way. Maybe a way that you're not too highly comfortable with or not really wanting to do, but if God's been trying to prompt you to go that direction, step out and find out, you know? You're not going to know if you don't ask or if you don't try. And then, like I said, when it comes to dating and stuff, take it slow. Because as you're working on yourself and as God's building you up, as he's showing you who you are and what you're capable of and all this stuff, God did not just spend years upon years of developing your beautiful self for you to go and wreck it in one night with a one-night stand, okay? I'm going to say that. I don't know who that's for, but you know who you are. Don't do it. You've been there, done that. You know that route. You know that ride. It's going to same result every time. That's called insanity. You do the same thing and you're expecting a different result. Ain't going to happen. I don't care what the different guy is. Different guy, same situation, okay? That's just how that is. And then also, like I said, there's no reason to rush. If it takes 3 to 6 months before y'all start dating and you're getting to know each other as friends, count it as a blessing. Because God just spent years upon years developing you for such a time as this. Because this is now, right here, today. You watching this video right now. Yeah. You're watching this for whatever reason you want to watch it, but I'm just telling you, and thank you, by the way, if you're watching, and while you're watching, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Put a comment down below. If you have an opportunity right now, go ahead and hit the thumbs up, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of my videos. But like I said, if you are in the process of, especially if God's revealed to you who your husband is, you definitely don't need to be dating a whole bunch of other people. You know, stick to the course, stick to the path, stick to the plan. If God's told you, go move to this city, take this job, stay at this job, stay in this town, if he's telling you don't go across the country, if he's telling you don't go on that vacation, or if he's telling you, start that business, go back to school, whatever his plans are for you, whatever it is that God has revealed to you, you need to be following through. Be obedient, be bold, be honest with yourself, and step up where you need to step up. Because there's a blessing on the other side of what seems to be a burden, okay? There's always going to be a little bit of amount of work that is required when you're wanting a blessing from God. Like if you're wanting a really beautiful body, like I want to lose some pounds, I'm not going to get that way just by hoping or wishing for it. I'm going to have to actually put in the work, okay? I'm going to have to work out, even if it's just starting out humbly by just walking in circles in my neighborhood and just going literally once, maybe 3 times a day or a week. Just start small, start simple, just start. If you're starting a business, you don't have to take on the entire business. Just start with what's a name that you want for your business, who's your target audience, things like that. Like, just write this stuff down. And then like I said, as you are following God, as you're being obedient, as you are working on yourself, and this is where like attitude and character, if you need some counseling, if you need therapy because you have some PTSD and it ain't going away, sweetheart, do the work. The heart work. Because it gets harder when you try to do this in a season where God had told you clearly, plain as day, to do this work at an earlier time. Because a lot of this work needs to be done before your spouse comes, before that man comes. And if you don't know, you do now, because I just told you. So it's not always fun. It's not always easy, but it's always necessary. That's why there's discipline. That's why there's seasons where God has to take things away from you sometimes, because he's got to get your attention, or he has to remind you of, if you don't straighten up, listen up, or do what it is that he's telling you to do, then, he's not going to take it another step further until you do. For the most part, you take a step, God takes a step. It's kind of like a dance. God tells you to go get that job. It's up to you, your free will, whether you're going to get that job or not. If you apply for it, God will get you in. But if you don't apply for it, what is it that God could do to bless with it? You didn't put in the work. So same thing, if you want a spouse who's going to treat you right, who's going to love you right, who's going to be there for you and not lie to you or cheat on you, your husband, he's wanting the same thing. He wants a woman he can trust. He wants a woman who's not going to be super emotional every turn and every time that y'all talk, or every time that he tries to tell you that, hey, you need to be a little bit nicer, or he wants to confront a problem and you just break down. Some of that can be manipulation. It can. I'll have a video about that on another time. But for right now, do the work. Do the work. Do the work. That's all I'm going to say. So, hopefully this is giving you some good advice. This is just what God's been laying on my heart. I just let him have his way on my video, so this is what we're talking about. Because like I said, if you're really praying for a spouse, you're going to have to do some work. Some work on yourself. You're going to have to walk away from other people. You might have to drop some hobbies, or drop certain bad habits. You might have to take on some counseling and therapy. You're gonna have to confront yourself. You're gonna have to face yourself. God's gonna allow you to see yourself for who you are, and then he's gonna show you who you are in his eyes. Okay? Because your spouse, he's going through the same process. He's facing himself. He's making changes and moves that, the only thing that's really pushing him is the fact that he wants to be married. Maybe possibly to you, if he knows who you are and God told him that you're his wife. Or, he's just getting things ready. Or it's possible that he doesn't know yet, but he just knows that he has a strong urge to do better in life. And when he talks to you or is around you, you make him feel that way, where he's encouraged to do better. And 2 are better than 1. So like I said, God knows what he's doing. He's a big God. He doesn't need you to put everything together, but he does need you to do your part. Okay? So don't know who this is for, but I just had to throw this out there today. Excuse me. I know a lot of women, myself included, have struggled with this. I used to struggle with this in the past, but that's the whole point of Walking Your Worth, is to show you this is where you're at. You might be a very gorgeous, beautiful woman, but if you're constantly single and you're constantly getting dumped and you're constantly being ghosted and you can't figure out why, it's not just because you're too nice. It's not because you're pretty. It's not because, you don't love yourself. Really what it is do you have boundaries? Do you respect yourself? Do you allow other people to treat you just any kind of way? Or do you put your foot down and speak up when someone is, I don't mean getting in fights and lashing out, not that kind of speak up. I'm talking about, do you call people out in a respectful manner without cussing, without yelling, and just being able to tell them, like, I'm not going to be talked to that way. Like, I don't talk to you that way, so you're not going to talk to me that way. Like, can you say it like that with a serious face? Can you hold your head up high? Like, are you gossiping about everyone else? Or are you staying focused in your lane, working hard on what it is that God has called you to do that you already know that you need to do? Because if you've been doing that, the second one where you're, in your lane and you're making moves that God's told you to do, your husband's he's going to be attracted to that. God put that desire in his heart for him to be attracted to you specifically. Just like you're going to have a desire that God put in your heart to be attracted to that man specifically. But it's not just the attraction of the outside, it's the heart. You attract what you are. So if you want someone who's honest, loyal, fun, who can be serious but also be fun at the same time, who works hard, everything that I just listed, if that sounds really nice, and oh yeah, let's just say faithful, so they're not like cheating on you, who doesn't want that? But here's the problem. You have to become that first. You don't become that after you get your person. You develop that before your person so that when you're with your person, you can maintain and establish a healthy relationship. It will last. It's not going to crumble because you got the cracks filled in with the Holy Ghost, okay? You got the Spirit of God is filling in those cracks. He's got you covered. Because there's going to be cracks. We all ain't pretty. We all ain't flawless. Like we all have, and when I say pretty, I don't mean outside. I'm talking about we all have our bad moments and our bad days. We all fall short before the glory of God. But that's why it's important that y'all include God in your relationship. Because when those cracks start to crumbling, if God's not there as your safety net, it just continues to break. To the point where everything in your life becomes diminished and broken. And you're left with nothing. But with God, when you are in alignment with Him and you're doing what it is that He's called you to do and shown you to do and told you to do, even if it's hard and it seems impossible and you're making those baby steps and those adjustments and those changes, oh my goodness, guys. God will be right there alongside you regardless. But I mean, man, He's going to come out and show up for you. And when that man, when he sees of what you're doing with your life, when he hears of you, when he sees you, he's going to be so blown away and so impressed, just like you will with his life. Because y'all are going to be on the same level. Y'all are going to be a power couple. You're going to be, this is kingdom stuff. This is literally, it's not just, lovey-dovey, let's get married. Like, no, y'all have assignments. Some of you guys are going to be writing books together. Some of you guys are going to be traveling together. Like, legit going around touring and speaking. Some of you guys are, going to be helping other couples, giving counseling to other couples and sharing your story with them. So your testimony matters. This is bigger than you. It's bigger than your spouse. It's bigger than both of you. This is for God. It's His kingdom, His assignment that He's given you. Yes. He wants to bless you, but He wants to bless you so you can be a blessing to others. So, don't know who all this is for. Comment down below if this has helped you at all. Go ahead and do that. And again, give this video a like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. And my name's Miranda Hughes, and thank you for watching. I appreciate it. And don't forget, walk in your worth. Bye.